Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we would like to cover how to use solid edge in performing or drawing compression springs with different end types. And in this video what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the different type. We have 4 types and we're gonna show you how to draw each type. So if you look carefully to the first type, we have a plane spring. The second type, plane and ground. The difference between both of them is actually here you have the actual number of turns, but at the end you're gonna grind about half a turn and another half a turn from the bottom, and this is how you get the plane and ground. To get the square end, we're gonna add to the plane spring another quarter of a turn and in the top and another quarter of a turn in the bottom, and then we bend it. We'll make the turn in a plane perpendicular to the axial axis of the spring. So now to move also and this is how you get the squared. Now to move to the fourth type, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grind the square end, and we get the squared and ground. And actually what you can see here is like about 3/4 of a turn will be grinded. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to solid edge and start making all these 4 springs with the end. But in doing that, we'll draw the plane spring, and then we'll make another 2 copies to make the plane and for the plane and ground and for the square. And then just all what we're gonna do, we're gonna modify the end spring, modify the end here, and then make another copy of the squared and modify the end to have the square and ground. Without further ado, let's move to solid edge and start the session. Now we are in solid edge and I choose the front view. It doesn't matter what view you would like to draw the spring. But now what we're going to do now is I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Oh my God, this. Okay, and move this line to be on the coordinate axis, so the middle of the line should be connected to the point, the origin of the coordinate axis. Okay, now let's have this dimension to be 60 millimeter. Okay, let me zoom or make it fit. Okay, let me make this one from here. I'm gonna move this one down so it just doesn't take the size for nothing. Okay, now. Okay, oops, sorry. Let's make it fit. Okay, that's good enough. Let me move it up. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw circle, tangent circle. Yeah, tangent circle will be better. Now I'm gonna go to the tip of the line here. I'll go vertical. Oh, the circle will be 3, means the diameter of the wire of the spring will be 3 millimeter. I'll go vertical. When I see the dashed line, means I'm gonna click here, so it's gonna be tangent. No, I needed this direction. Okay, very good. Now let's make sure that the dimensions are correct. So this should be 3 millimeter. It is 3 millimeter, and this should be 60 millimeter. Okay, now the distance from the line here to the center of this the sphere here. This should be 9.5. 9.5. Enter. Very good. So now we got all the dimensions, all what we need. Now we need to draw the, now I'm going to choose just the line here to be like a construction line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the construction line to change it to construction line. Okay. So now it's a construction line. Okay. Now let's go to the sweep, under sweep. I'm going to choose Helix. Click on Helix. So now I need this circle around this axis and say okay. You see this here? Say okay. So now this is one turn. No, I don't know. I need 10 turns. What 10? Okay, so I'm gonna put type 10, and this is how I get the spring. Now, this is the plane spring, plane end spring. This is the one we will start all the drawing after that, all the different ends on top of this one. So what I'm going to do now, so we're done with the first type of spring, which is the plane spring. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it, save as. And I'm going to call it conversion spring plane. Save. It's going to say, okay, yes, okay, yes, okay, yes. Okay. So we're done with the spring, plane spring. Now let's save another copy for what? For the plane and ground. So save as. I'm going to choose plane and ground. Save. Okay. It's going to ask for say yes. Okay. So now we need to develop the plane and ground thing. So how we do it? Okay. It's very simple. What I'm going to do is, this is why I put everything in the center line here. So now I'm going to go back to the create the base reference plane, the preference plane. The plane was going to be the front plane. So I'm going to start the front plane where it is. Okay, let me move it around so I can see the front. Where is the front plane? Oh, here it is. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I need to create like a rectangle by 2 points. Let me do that. And then I'm going to highlight this plane. You see this plane here? Which is what the front plane. So I'm going to click on this plane. So now it is locked to the plane. So now I can go anywhere now. It doesn't matter. Okay. So now we get like by 2 points. Yes, okay, now, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start 1 point here. And now let me zoom more. I'm going to just put it somewhere anyway. I'm going to put it somewhere and going to show you what I'm going to do after that. So now let me zoom. Okay. I'm going to zoom to this area. Sorry, no, not this one. I'm going to use the other one. Okay, I'm going to zoom here. Okay, now I want this line. I want this line here to be at the tip edge here, the edge here of this of the circle here. You see here at the tip of this circle here, from this side. So this way I cover like half a turn. Okay, now once we have that, I'm gonna go to home. Okay, let's move to the other side too. So I'm gonna move and do the other one from the other direction. Okay. Oh, let me rotate it then. So instead of front, back, I'm gonna go it back. Photo, back. Okay. So now again, we're gonna do what? Draw also a rectangle by 2 points. Oh, actually, I could do it by symmetry, but it's okay. By 2 points. So what I'm gonna put 1 point here somewhere here. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna put it here. Now I'm gonna zoom so I can see where I'm putting my thing. Here it is. So I'm gonna zoom here. So now I need to put the line here. I'm gonna move this line to be at the tip of the circle, at the end of the circle here, somewhere here. That's good, 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 good. Okay. Okay, so now let's go down and then go to home. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say extrude, and then instead of plus, I'm gonna make it cut. Okay, and I'm gonna choose this plane here and choose the other plane and right click and move both sides so I can cut both direction. Okay, and go. So this way I cut both sides. So now let me hide the front plane. So what happened is I cut both sides, so this way becomes like plane and ground. So I'm done with the second type of the spring, plane and ground. Okay, so now let's save it. Save. Okay, now I'm gonna close this one and I'm gonna open the squared one. Now I'm gonna open the plane one. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna open this one, just one more. Okay, now so this is the plane one. We did the plane and the ground. Now I need to make the squared. So to make the squared, I need to bring the right view. Okay, so we're gonna get the right view or the right plane. So I'm gonna say go to the plane here, right plane. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this right plane here. Okay, and I'm gonna create another plane at the center of this circle here of the wire, and the same thing at the center of the wire from the back. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw a plane, and then I'm gonna draw a circle or the quarter of a turn in this plane and extrude. So this means that the addition will be in the same plane of the plane that is parallel, which will be parallel to the right view, right plane. Okay, so I'm gonna click create a plane. So I'm gonna say okay, create a plane parallel to this plane, which is the front, the right view plane. I'm gonna click on this arrow and I'm gonna move till it becomes in the center of this circle here. So I'm gonna highlight it. When I see the circle, I'm gonna click. Okay, click. This means it is exactly in the center. Make sure that you make it exactly in the center. So now I'm gonna rotate this one. Instead of the front, I need to get the back. Okay, here it is. And let me zoom again. Okay, so now I need to create another plane parallel to this plane, and I'm gonna go this way in this direction, and this plane should be where in the center of this one. Once I see the center, I'm gonna click. So this way I created the plane here and the plane there. Okay, now I need to draw a circle on this plane, or not, I need to draw a quarter of a circle actually. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, first I need to lock myself to this plane here and lock myself to the other plane. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say, okay, create a circle by center. Once I have that, then I'm gonna go to this plane. Let me do this way. So I'm gonna lock to this plane. Okay, and I'm gonna go to this. Okay, so now I know that I'm gonna draw a circle from the center here, because I locked now to the plane here. So I'm gonna draw a circle from here, which is the diameter of the wire, the mean diameter of the wire, which is 19.5, 19.5. And very good. Okay, Okay, right click, get out. Okay, now where it is now, it is here, so I need to have only a quarter turn to the left. So I'm gonna make it again to the right view here. So I'm gonna draw a line. Vertical exactly, and another line, right click, and another line horizontal. Okay, now let's trim, and since we are locked to the plane, we can use the easy trim, so the quick trim. So you go over the line, get rid of this line, get rid of this line, and get rid of this line. So finally what we end up, okay, if you go back here, I end up with the curve here and the line here. So let me move it like this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on the sweep, and I'm gonna say sweep, say okay, and I need here is the quarter of a circle, and it should be where for this cross section area. Say okay. Now I need to get the cross section area. I'm gonna click and then finish. Okay, so now I was able to create, see if you look at the front, no top, okay. You see here, in the top one, we added this a quarter of a circle, but it is flat. Okay, it doesn't have an angle like this. We'll do the same to the other direction. So let me go this way. I want to go, this is right view. I need to get the left view. So again, we'll repeat the same thing. How to repeat the same thing? I'm going to do the same thing. How? I'm going to click circle by center. Highlight this plane over there in the back. Okay, now I'm locked to this plane, so now I can move to the back. Here is left. Okay, here it is. And then let me move also to make it bigger so you can see it better. Good. So circle by center. 19. Enter. Go here. Or okay, the best way maybe just start from the center, make it bigger, and I'm gonna go to the location here on this line here till I touch the center, or the center of this location here. Means that I guarantee that this line is attached to the center of the circle inside. Okay, so now we're gonna just turn it around so I can see where we are. Okay, so the curve, it need to be the right from the bottom. Okay, so now let's go this way. So click on the fifth. Okay, let's make it bigger. So now I'm gonna create two lines from the center, vertical, and again right click from the center, horizontal. Okay, now let's use, since we are in the lock to the plane, I can use the quick trim. So I'm gonna go this way and this way and this way. Okay, now let's go back to the home. So let me move it this way, and let me zoom. Okay, so now let's see how we're gonna do it. Again, go to the sweep, and the menu will come. Here is the menu. I say okay, and then I will choose first the direction, whatever. Say okay, and then I'm going to choose the cross section area. So I'm going to click on this one and then say finish. Very good. So now we're done with the other part. So this will conclude the third type of the end spring. There and there. Okay, so now as you can see, let me go back to the, okay, oh, here it is. Okay, see, you see the plane here, it becomes plane. Okay, and here, so it can set. Okay, so now this is called the squared spring. So let's save it. So I'm gonna say, okay, file, save as. This should be the square. Okay, see, yes. Okay, so now we create the third type of the spring, which is the squared end, that has the squared end. Now let's do what? The square and ground. Okay, okay, so now I'm going to say I'm going to draw rectangle by 2 point. I'm going to lock it to this location, so the drawing will be in the same plane in the center exactly. So I got the F3. I'm going to choose rectangle by 2 point. Now let me zoom in both sides. We go home, go to front, rectangle by 2 point. Okay, so I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click somewhere here. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, now let's do the other one. So what I'm going to do instead of front, I'm going to go to the back. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Rectangle by 2 point. Good. So I'm going to click here. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the home and say extrude. So the menu will come, and instead of plus is going to be what? Minus cut. Okay, and I'm going to choose this one and choose the other one. Right click and make it symmetry, so it's just where I can move the bottom side. So I'll click, and now I created the cut, which is like almost like a 3/4 of a cut, but anyway, it's almost like that. Okay, and this will conclude our session for today. We were able, let me save it first. So I'm going to say, okay, save as, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so now let me get rid of this front of you. Okay, so now let me look at the front of you. Okay, the front from home, and here is the front. Okay, now this is what. So we were successfully able to have the compression springs, the 4 types: plane, plane and ground, squared, and squared and ground. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I would like to hear your feedback. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumb up. Have a wonderful day, and see you soon on another video. Bye-bye.